during the game, some person came and said, okay, I would like to speak to you after the game, something like this. And I didn't know who it was. And I won the game quickly. And then he said that Mr. Fischer saw your interview and uh, he would like to meet you.
Dear listeners, welcome to part 2 of the interview I had with Super Grandmaster Pentala Harikrishna from India. In part 1 we talked about his time in Reykjavik, and in this episode we're going to talk about his first book and his meeting with the legendary Bobby Fischer. My name is Erik van Reem. Enjoy the show. So you get some input from the juniors, but you also get some input from engines like Alpha Zero, yeah, that they change the game
Alpha
more or
Zero
less.
is not available for.
No, okay, but the ideas.
Yeah, artificial engine, yes, of course. So, I was told, don't push the pawn in front of your king, to so it weakens your king. But lot of those concepts are subjective. It's no longer a general concept. It really should be seen from the way the position is, and it doesn't, because most likely if you do not accept such things, when your opponent plays against you or does something like this, you cannot cope up with this, and that is the reason why you need to why players need to understand new concepts and to adapt to the new concepts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, is it always also difficult, because now we're going up to your book, when you're going to write a book, that you wrote a book Beat the French with Knight C3. That's your first book. Is it difficult then to write when the chess is constantly evolving? That when you write a book and you publish it, it's already old, more or less. I mean, the French is an opening, of course. It's been played for, I don't know, for a very, very long time. But isn't it difficult to find a concept and the right concept, which is also something that you can use in the future then?
So before the French book, I actually made a course on Chessable, which is called French Toast, and that actually gave me confidence to write a book, even because I never believed myself to be, to explain things, because people around me always felt that my explanations are not that great, but things can change with age and so on. So anyway, as coming to your question, I do believe that the book which I wrote is based on opening, which I actually used in Tata Steel to win from black side, which is my favorite opening from black. One of my favorite openings from black side as well. I won against Niels Grandelius.
I just was looking for the game. Yeah, Grandelius. Okay.
So anyway, my approach towards the book is very simple. That I wanted to show the reader that you can get an advantage, or to put pressure on your opponent by choosing even the simplest looking variations. Like often you will see it's 0.00 or 0. The evaluation of the engines. But when you actually play these concepts over the board, it's quite unpleasant to your opponent. So this is one of the things which I was trying to take it to the reader. I mean, obviously, any opening book, it will change maybe in like 2 weeks or 1 month, you know,
Yeah,
as you
that's
go
very
deeper
fast,
and
yeah.
so on.
Yeah.
So to claim that white is winning in certain opening or you know, draw, these things are no longer valid like probably a couple of years ago. What I tried to do is in this book, I wanted to also talk about some of the concepts which I believe will be useful not just in the French defense, but in a regular game. The concepts regarding where to place the pieces and how to look, how to prepare against a certain opening. So basically, I need I want to say some explain some concepts and to make the reader understand that you know, these are the things, but I need a story. And the story is French defense, you know. Like I have a vision, but I need I can't just talk about you
Sure.
know, place because they cannot relate to what I'm talking about. So I need a story and to explain that when you reach certain position in French defense was X opening. So this is how you need to arrange your pieces and have the pawn formation. And of course, it is also useful in for an opening purpose as well. It's not just that I took a random things, but I researched well. And I mean, of course, there will be improvements. I'm not even doubting about it. But for a club player who wants to learn a opening at the same time improve his chess, this is what I feel could be useful.
Yeah, yeah. What I specifically like, there's a lot of text in which you explain positions. Yeah, it's just not just variations. It's a very thick book. It's 450 pages, so that's
Yeah,
quite quite something.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah, actually, because so the thing is, I gave two options for the move knight c3, knight f6, e5. So I don't remember, one, two, three, four, fifth
Yep.
move.
Yeah.
Fifth move, knight ce2, as well as fifth move, f4. And obviously both these variations are quite you know, quite big, because there are a lot of variations which I cannot exclude. I mean, I have to address all of them, if not in like 30 moves or something, but
Sure.
in a decent depth. And I think that's the reason why it's 450 pages. And all the sidelines, I believe I have done pretty good job to that white has good advantage. And naturally, it's by no means black is lost or something. There are some interesting ideas, there are some interesting concepts, and just try it out. And you know, many times it happens that for me the position is equal and I would win. And I think that is something which one should you know, keep in mind, that equal doesn't mean draw.
I was just wondering, how did you manage, because you're very busy. You're playing online tournaments and over the board tournaments, and also writing a 450-page book. How do you manage doing that time-wise? Do you have to make a very strict schedule, like saying, on this day I'm going to write a book, on this day I'm going to train, or how do you manage to do this everything as a professional player?
Yes, actually, I mean, surprisingly, last year was quite busy for me. I played also two events after the pandemic. has started. So the BL and Polish League. At some point, I was playing two events. I mean, the Polish League and online chess Olympiad. So it was quite difficult because I was in touch with the team. I mean, both teams, because I was playing in Poland, and right at that time, India, I mean, before going to Poland, we qualified for the knockout phase. And when I reached Poland, India went quarterfinals, semifinals, and then at finals I played one game against Artemiev and I drew. But the point was, it's it's incredibly difficult to play two events at one time. I mean, I shouldn't do it next time anyway. I had some kind of schedule, obviously, because of the deadlines. I also had another course on Chessable last year in apart from the book. So I did a course, Taimanov course on Chessable and a book, and played two events over the board and four online events. I believe, yeah, four probably. No, actually, maybe five.
You lost count, yeah, because you play so much.
Yes. But all this activity was connected to chess. So I think that kind of gave me the motivation, and when you are feeling a little bit low because of you can't go out, and you can't do the regular things. So like anybody, you feel a little bit low, but when I start working on chess, I immediately get good feeling.
Okay.
And there were many days when I would be like really, really low, but I had to push myself to do many things. It was a great learning experience, I can say, more than how I did it, because it was really, really tough to do the same thing again and again and again, especially when nothing positive is going to come out anytime soon. Somehow I managed, and of course there. To prepare chess and to do various things, I had help from my friends and my wife, obviously, and without friends and my family, I wouldn't be able to do all these things successfully. But I'm glad that I managed to, and that's enough for me. I mean, if people find the book interesting and learn from it, that's the thing which I was having in mind when I am writing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you said in the preface that you've read, of course, many books, many chess books.
Yeah.
When you wrote the book, were there some examples, something like books that influenced you, perhaps, when writing the book?
Not. I mean, I didn't read that many opening books. Like I read. I really like to read the books of personal touch, in the sense some how to put it. Like David wrote a book on his journey, and the books where they are author is explaining their journeys and how he thought about it. But this is an opening book, and like I said, I know that people tend to give bunch of variations to prove the point of the book, but that wasn't my point of writing the book. So it's not like my engine versus the reader's engine, but it's more like how 2700 prepare approach towards preparing chess, and during the game how he thinks about various concepts. So that was the point, because basically there are many books where you can find a lot of computer ideas, or fully checked. I mean, it's great, and it is actually quite useful for professional players, but for a club level player, I think they need to understand why certain things are played and so on.
Yeah. Okay. So the book is not for not completely say about the French, but it's more a general approach, how you approach chess in general, how you approach openings, and explain. Yeah,
I try to include in that way.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I succeeded, because some of the variations do need concrete approach. I can't really give a philosophical touch when there is a need for concrete moves. So when such situation was there, I had to give concrete answers to various openings, various ideas. But what you could see is when there are the sidelines or the unusual moves, which often you will face in a club level practice. So there, even if I give all the computer moves and give +1, it's really difficult to remember them, So I try to somehow put it in such a way, even the advantage is less. I wanted it to be easier to remember. So that was my point. So it's not important to know the truth or something, but to be able to remember when you are playing. That was the point. For you will see that my suggestions are not the top choice of engine, and I mean, I even know what are the top choice of engine because I checked them.
Okay, is it difficult then for you to include those moves? So not the best move, for example, or your own ideas or your own secrets? What do you include and what do you not include anymore? Something maybe you can use in the future in practice, like some secrets in the French, for example.
No, I did not think about whether I will play or I should keep it some secret. I analyzed as if I would go and play some weeks after or something like that, and obviously then I also have to keep in mind to what level I am trying to reach out, and then of course I have to refine a bit on whether should I go for larger advantage but too difficult to remember, but a bit lesser advantage but easy to remember. So that is actually the struggle for most of, like, I mean, there are differences in authors. Obviously, some prefer this, and there are times like you would say, okay, he didn't give the best move of the computer, and then but if you give the best move of the computer, you also need to remember some incredible tactics. Of course, if you are practicing every day couple of hours, it's not a difficult thing, but if you want to learn and enjoy chess, that's not how it should be. So that was the struggle I also had. In some openings I had no choice. Obviously I had to give the best, because theory has developed so much in these variations, so I had to give. But in some variations I could give some simple ideas which I really enjoyed. I played myself and I won some nice games. So there is some venom even in those simple lines.
Okay. Would you still recommend a French defense to black players?
Yes, of course.
You still do. Okay. Of course, your
Yes,
book is called
I think
Beating the French. Yeah.
only if they play my book will sell more. Yes.
Yes, of course. Well, I can only recommend it. People, listeners, just have. I think you can also download a couple of pages from Thinkers Publishing. I think it's called Beat the French Defense with the three knights C3. Is there
Yeah.
any ideas of doing a follow-up or doing completely different book like David Navarro did with his best games? Or you're also an end game expert, I think. You're very good at end games. Do you have any plans to write an end game book perhaps in the future?
Well, actually, I have some ideas to make a course on Chessable this year. But regarding the book, yes, I'm thinking, but for the moment, not opening book. So if I will make, I will. I have two options. I cannot be 100%, but maybe how I approach chess, and the concept is that I would like to make a book where author can explain how to differentiate between the finding the truth in chess and to practical value of certain thing, because these are two different things. When many books, I often find a lot of concepts which are included based on computerish ideas, which you can try to remember, but most likely you will not implement, because when you are solving a puzzle, or when you are when you are playing a game based on a position from some of the books, no one is going to say why to play and win or find advantage or anything, because this is a natural process where you just go from move to move and so on. So therefore, it is quite important to balance the time, to have objectivity and to be practical. And if I were to write anything, I will write, because for me it's not important that I make calculation or anything, but for me it's important the time you spent on each situation and move, and how much practical value, how much you can calculate. So these things are I mean, if someone else writes such a book, it will be great. Of course, I will buy and read it. But that's something which I would like to focus on. And endgame books, there are many books with theoretical endgame books, which are excellent and great. But if I were to choose the second book would be to have not theoretical end games, because it's it's really so many books and excellent books. I cannot really improve upon them. Probably something from my games where why I chose certain thing, and why not this, and how you can put pressure and so on.
Sure.
But at the moment, nothing really. But these two books are some of the things. These two concepts are some of the things which I always had in mind.
Okay, great. So we're looking forward to that, perhaps. Yeah. So you have a lot of things ahead in 2020, 2021. We're right now.
2020 is over.
2020 is over. 2021. We're now February, so it's a lot of. What are your plans for the rest of the year? You had an incredibly busy year, 2020. Are you going to slow down a bit this year or not? It is, of course, very difficult to tell how the situation goes with COVID, of course, and online tournaments and over-the-board tournaments. Just in general, question, is it that much different to play it online rather than over the board?
It is quite different, I would say. I mean, when the situation is normal, of course, I can give you clear. It's easy to explain, but obviously, these are completely different different ways, because when you are going for an event, you are not just going for this event to just win the game and come back home, because it's humans are more like social people. So obviously when you are going to certain country, you get to meet your friends once in a couple of months or even many months, so these memories are quite important, at least to me. So that's one of the reasons why I enjoy playing over the board events. I have met some of the people like 20 years ago, and I get to meet them when I'm playing in certain league competition, or any open or closed event. I don't play so many open events, but imagine the people, players who are playing open events, and some of them are playing the same open event for like 10 years, and they are meeting all these players and so on. So this is part of the entire thing. Of course, over the board event has some drawbacks, like you have to travel, you have to do a lot of stuff, but I don't mind this as long as I get to meet my friends and interact and understand various things, because I believe that I have learned a lot, and as a person I could improve much faster or better by listening to actual people experiences rather than anything else. So for me, this is the like, if I go to certain country and I get to know how it is working, and so I can use the good thing and leave the unnecessary thing. So that is how I see the whole over the board. And then of course, you coming to chess point of view, you see your opponent, you see the tension, you prepare, and you have a routine and all these things. So this is also a major part, and together I I enjoy about the on over the board. And now online events, of course, it's not like online chess wasn't popular before, because I think even when candidates were shown live, or various other events were shown live, there were many spectators watching these live games and so on. Of course, in last 1 year, chess has seen a tremendous growth in the online playing, or anything related to chess. And obviously the Champions Chess Tour, which is 10 events from starting from November to September, and various other events taking place. You play at the comfort of your home. You don't have to travel. There is no risk of various things. But on the other hand, there is one. Everything is great. Like, it's not a big deal to see the computer. Okay, you don't see the actual person, but you can see. I just there's one thing where you can mouse sleep or lose by disconnection and so on. So cheating in online is another topic. It's really a big topic. Of course, we can discuss if you want, but generally my two concerns are the disconnection and the mouse sleep. Okay. Of course, these two things cannot be avoided, and so okay, slowly we can probably make it even better in a way that we do not have disconnections, and to somehow reduce or minimalize these things. But mouse sleep is it happened to me. It happened to many top chess players.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Do you also chess-wise? Do you prepare something different, opening-wise, for example, in an online tournament?
Yeah, certainly it can't be same because I mean, to be honest, I think classical to play online would be just too much, too long, and I'm not sure people will be interested to watch it even, and I believe it will always be like rapid at best, like 25 minutes or even 15 minutes. So which means definitely different kind of preparation is needed compared to classical time control. So it's not about online or over the board preparation, but it is more like the time control. It depends on the time control, obviously. If it's a blitz time control, you can't have the same preparation as rapid.
Okay, you can play everything. Yeah, you can bonk cloud or something. And
no that works if I have a YouTube channel, then it makes a lot of sense. But
yeah, okay.
if you don't have a YouTube channel or Twitch, then it doesn't make much sense.
Okay, is there any plans for you to do that, Twitch or YouTube channel, like Surya, for example? There are, of course, other top players, Anish and Hikaru, of course. Is it something you would something for you?
I'm thinking. I mean, sometimes I like to interact with my fans and play sometimes. I sometimes play Banter Blitz on Chess24 and various other activities. So I'm thinking, who knows, maybe I will have, because that gives me an opportunity to interact with my fans, because many of them send their wishes, but I can't really, I mean, I don't have any platform to interact with them.
Yeah, sure.
So maybe I'm thinking probably soon I will have, I don't know.
Okay, we're looking forward to that, of course. Okay, there's lots of stuff to talk about. We are already talking for quite a while now, and it's extremely interesting to talk to you and to listen to you, and I hope the listeners do like it as well. But there's one more thing I would like to ask you, and you know what it is. I read in some interviews that your favorite book is My 60 Memorable Games by Fischer.
Yes.
And he's also one of your heroes, I think, your chess heroes, right?
Yes.
So not many people know this, perhaps, but you had a chance to meet him, actually. Can you tell me something about that? Because not many people know that story.
Yeah, this was actually really, I don't, I mean, I don't know the word how to describe such a in situation, because I was invited to play in the Reykjavik Open in 2006, and before some days or maybe 1 or 2 weeks before the start of the event, I was asked by a local reporter like certain questions, and and one of the questions was, what are you expecting from Iceland, or and then I said, of course, to travel. I forgot the name of the touristic destinations. I think it's Gulfos, to the geysers, and
Gulfos, Geyser, correct.
Yeah. Geyser, okay, sure. Mm-hmm. And of course, it would be great if I can meet Bobby Fischer, and that was more like I knew it's never going to happen, but of course that is what I was looking for. And then I was playing. I didn't hear anything, actually. I was just playing. It was 8th round game, I believe. And during the game, some person came and said, okay, I would like to speak to you after the game, something like this. And I didn't know who it was, and I won the game quickly. And then he said that Mr. Fischer saw your interview, and uh, he would like to meet you. And I mean, I was I was like, is he joking, or I was
Sure.
not sure actually. And then he said, okay, after the event there was some blitz event, I think, where Carlson, Anand, and Judith Polgar, some other players took place. So there was one day where there was time, so I went for a dinner with him, and it was I actually, while it was happening, I really didn't understand what was happening. So only after I met him, and then I did meet him, and so it was great. Like, we had nice time. Uh, Basically, he was talking and I was listening.
Yes. Okay.
Not because he didn't give me a chance or something, but he was just so much into various topics which I had no clue. And he was talking about some Bollywood and some various topics, really so many topics he was interested. I was really amazed, and it was really great memory for me. And I did get what I wanted from Reykjavik. So.
Yeah, great. Did you also talk a bit about chess then, of course, about your games perhaps, or?
Already he was not interested in chess. He was explaining that it is necessary to play Fischer random events, and he was showing some of the games. He would have the pocket set and he would explain to me. So it was a really nice meeting. I mean, some of the games I couldn't recall, to be honest. I wasn't so good at some of the classical games back then. And
Okay, so he showed some classical games or something. Or?
yeah, some of the from some of the matches and so on. But his interests were not confined just to chess. So, like, this is what I like. I mean, we obviously speak about chess, but it's not just chess in general. Like, various topics about happening in the world. So that was that was a great meeting for.
Yes, I can understand it. Yeah, I think a lot of people envy you, of course. How long did it take? Because you had dinner with him, or did?
Yes, we had dinner. I don't know, maybe a couple of, I don't know, maybe 2 hours or a little bit more. And I at the end, he said he will pay for the dinner, and I said no. this is my once a lifetime opportunity. So. And he said, if you want to play good, you should eat fish.
Okay.
So,
good advice. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, well, that's a great story, of course. Yeah, it's a once in a lifetime experience, of course. I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Did he sign anything? Did you bring a book or something, or?
I have an autograph from him, but I mean, I still have it, but I think that's probably the only autograph I have ever taken in my entire life.
Okay, yeah, that's understandable, of course. Great, thank you, Harry. I would like to say thank you very much for all of the time that you have, and I have one more last question for you at the moment. Yeah, we cannot travel at the moment very much, and I have one last question. Where would you like to travel to if you had the chance right now? Anywhere in the world, if the situation clears up again, we have no COVID. What's the first place
I
where
would
you would
like
like
to
to go to?
travel to my home in India. So,
When was the last time you were in India, actually?
2019 December for
Wow.
the Tata Steel India chess tournament.
Okay. Wow, that's quite a
I
long time
also
ago.
hope that Tata Steel India takes place soon. They had to cancel the 2020 event, but I do hope that it will take place in 2021.
Okay, yeah. Everybody hopes so. And Tata Steel 2022 again, of course, and all the other tournaments.
I would just like to add one thing
Sure.
that I played the Chess 960 event in 2006 in Mainz.
In Mainz, yeah.
Also in 2005, but both 2005 and 2006 I played in Mainz. So it was a nice event. So I hope there will be some events with Chess 960.
Yes, I hope so too. Yes, there were great events in Mainz, of course.
Yes,
and you played a couple of times. Yeah, the Opens, and you played the matches against Nidich, wasn't it?
I won against Arkady, but I don't remember if it was in 2005 or 2006. It was really a crazy match because I scored half out of 4, and then I won the next 4 games to win. So it was.
Yes, now I remember. Yes. Yes, I was there, but I have to check it. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, Chess 960, of course, another topic where we can talk about for hours, of course, but maybe next time. So maybe I will be happy to invite you again in the future.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
So for this, thank you very much. Thank you for the interview, for your time, and wish you all the best for your next endeavors this year, 2021, with your books, with your plans, YouTube, your tournaments, and whatever you're planning.
Thank you. It has been my pleasure, talking and remembering all the memories from a long time.
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. Thank you very much, and hope to see you soon. So we're over the board or wherever. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dear listeners, I hope you enjoyed the second part of the interview I had with Pentala Harikrishna. If you liked it, subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast channel to receive new episodes immediately after its release. This is helpful for me and for other chess fans who are looking for a podcast about chess. I would like to thank Thinkers Publishing for providing a review copy of the book Beat the French Defense with Knight c3. In the show notes I will give you a link to the publisher where you can order the book, and there's also some more information about Hari to find. I would like to thank you for the feedback that came in after the Wijk aan Zee Storyteller series. If you have any ideas yourself, send a mail to talkingchess@gmail.com or leave a tweet @chessclassic. Thanks again for listening, stay healthy and stay safe. Bye bye.